Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. So for those of you who might not know me, my name is Kathleen Kuo, and I'm a program manager for Nevada Humanities, which is our state's council partner of the National Endowment for the Humanities. So with Humanities at Play, our goal is to pair gameplay and pop culture and other fun activities with thoughtful discussions about how the humanities shape our everyday lives. We really want our streams to be fun and interactive, so by all means, please feel free to chat freely as you're inspired by the game we're playing, the conversation we're having, and of course, anything that you'd like to ask of our special guest today, we would love to hear from you. So a couple quick notes before we get started. If you aren't already following us here on Twitch, I encourage you to do so. Feel free to make an account, which is free. You can click that purple heart, and that way you'll get notifications when we're live, and also chat with us. We also have a fun feature called a chat command, which is an exclamation point followed by a keyword. You'll see some examples in the title of today's stream, as well as in the About section. So Sapira, hello. Today, Sapira Cheuk from the Nevada Arts Council is our special featured guest. Sapira is an ink painter and an installation artist. She is interested in proprioception, ways of knowing through the body, and also how these modes of knowledge reflect or internalize external experiences. Sapira has also exhibited in numerous exhibitions, including those at the Institute of Contemporary Art Los Angeles, the Orange County Contemporary Art Center, the Center for Contemporary Art Texas, the Netura Museum, Yellowstone Art Museum, the Rochester Contemporary Art Museum, Culver Center for the Arts, and more. She currently works as an artist service program specialist for the Nevada Arts Council, the art editor for the Museum of Americana, and she also teaches at the College of Southern Nevada. So really, she does it all. Sapira received her BA at the University of California, Riverside, and her MFA from California State University, San Bernardino. Sapira, thank you so much for joining me today for Humanities at Play. I am so excited to get to play this game with you and to have you share more about the work that you do as an artist with our viewers, as well as the great work you do at the Nevada Arts Council. So,
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. We're going to have a lot of fun, I think.
yeah, so the game we're playing today is called A Short Hike, and it really is a short hike, although I guess you can make it as long as you'd like, but the name of the game is A Short Hike. And this was created by Canadian indie game designer Adam Robinson Yu, and it was released in 2019. It's a really sweet, relaxing, open world exploration game. And today, what Sapir and I are going to try to do, there is a little side quest where you can find a little artist raccoon all around different parts of this island, and we're going to try and find him. And I think as we find this raccoon and talk to them, we're going to learn a little bit more about, what it means to be an artist, to exhibit, sort of the challenges you face, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So after we finish the artist side quest, we're going to take a small break while you can all hydrate or get a snack, and then we'll come back for a Q&A with Sapira about her work. So for everyone in chat, get comfy, get hydrated. I hope you're ready to play with us. I'm going to get the game started. Welcome in, Honey Bunches. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the work you do at the Nevada Arts Council. It's great to have you.
Yeah. And by the way, if I look like I'm bobbing up and down, it's because I'm on a desk stepper. So, I mean, you can just pretend that I'm like trekking through the jungle on this hike too. So,
Absolutely. Okay, Sapir, I am sharing the game with you now, and I'm also getting the game up. Let me know if you can see the game. I'm just gonna make it a little smaller. There we go. All right, are you able to see and hear the game? Let me know.
yes, I can see the game. I can't hear it yet.
I think we're just getting started. Oh,
Oh,
welcome
there you
in,
go.
Burned Out Lawyer. Hello. Hope you're having a great day. All right, let's get ready to take a short hike. So, Sapira, our protagonist is this little, I guess, penguin named Claire. Would you like to take the part of reading Claire, or would you like me to be Claire, and then you could be the guests, like the other people?
I think, yeah, I'll be the guest. You can be Claire.
All right, I don't know who's chatting right now, but I'll just read the intro. I never get tired of this view. Claire, you're gonna have a
Claire.
great time here this summer. I'll let you read this.
I
Servant
think
Claire.
it'll be good to get away from the city and take a break from everything else going on. Wouldn't we all love that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Are you still awake?
Hmm, maybe.
Hold on a little longer. We're almost at the ferry.
Okay. I'm ready for my summer vacation. All right, here we are. This is me. I am Claire, running around. I'm so excited.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you all day. You been busy?
Kinda. Well, not really. I've just been waiting around for a call.
Well, there's your problem. There's no reception out here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much no reception. You might be able to get some at the Hawk Peak.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But that's pretty far, isn't it?
It's not that far. We've all made the trek before. I figured you would have gone already.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to go, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, today as good a day as any. Just take the White Beach Trail and head north at the fork. Then follow the signs for Hawk Peak. No problem.
All right, so we're just gonna,
Off you go.
yeah. I mean, I think penguins, aren't they like, they're not able to fly, right? I think, aren't they
I
like
don't think
something
so.
about like the physics of their body or something?
But this one can glide.
Yeah, okay, she can glide. Oh, yellow sparkly. Gotta collect it.
Found a shell. Yeah,
So,
this game is really, really adorable.
yeah, so
You
Sapira,
got a stick?
you're the one who told me about this game. How did you discover
Yes.
it?
It was cheap and it looked like there was no combat. And an open world. Like combat really stressed me out in a game. So it was exactly my type of game.
Yeah, no, this is I think this is a great, very like peaceful and relaxing game. Of course, we're sort of doing the very unpeaceful thing by having a very specific mission, which is to find the artist and follow their side quest. But anyone playing this game, you can take it at your own pace and talk to everyone and do it at your own pace. Are you here? I think you're here. we found an artist. Yeah, major Animal Crossing vibes, absolutely. And actually, spoilers, I've actually never played Animal Crossing. Okay, that's a lie. I played Animal Crossing when I was babysitting when I was in like middle school with the kids I babysitted for, but I have not played it. I feel like that was a major thing that happened during the early years of COVID, so I missed out on Animal Crossing. I know. I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay, well, all right, let's have part one of our artists. We have discovered them. Hey! What you painting?
Oh. You can't tell?
Sapira, does this ever happen to you? Do you ever have people who are like, oh, what's that? Or like, do you expect people to know like when you like show them? Actually, I have some artwork of yours here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being a supporter of the arts.
Of course. Well, it's your art. I
Yeah.
love having art from friends, but do you ever, I don't know, it's like with the little kids, right? You're supposed to say, instead of saying, what are you drawing? It's like, tell me about what you're drawing so they don't feel bad that you don't recognize it. Does this happen with your work?
Yes, but oftentimes they'll ask me what it is, or like they assume, and then I ask the question back. It's always great when you're like, "Well, what do you see? What do you think it
Yeah,
is?"
like a Rorschach test.
Yeah, it's fun. So it's supposed to be the coastline, though I'm trying to go for a more abstract look.
Ah, I think I can see it now.
It's still a work in progress, but I don't know if I like where it's going. I think I'm gonna head over to the Blackwood Forest Lighthouse soon. I'm still trying to find the right inspiration.
All right. So we know where to find them next. I got started in GameCube way back. Yeah, that is, I think that might have been one of the first Animal Crossings, again, when I was babysitting, because I didn't own a GameCube when I was growing up. I vaguely remember playing it and then being sad I couldn't come back to check on how everyone was doing because it wasn't my game.
Oh.
All right, so part of this game, although we are trying to find the artist, there are a few steps we have to take. So, collecting gold coins is one of those ways, and we also want to upgrade Claire a little bit so she can fly. So this is why we're going to be talking to some random folks. Hello. Hey, dude. What's happening?
Oh, you know, just jamming out on the beach, building sandcastles and whatnot.
Sounds like a good time.
You know it.
Can I borrow your shovel?
Oh, sorry, bud. I need it for sandcastle construction.
Isn't it a little big for that?
Yeah, but that's just how shovels are.
You can get smaller ones. One's made for sandcastles.
What? Sounds fake.
I've got one on me. I do. Here, take a look at this.
Oh, that's perfect. Let's trade.
Okay, so now we have a shovel.
When you want to use my shovel, press space to open your inventory and equip it.
Don't let her use a
Keep it
shovel.
fresh.
Wait, why not? Why are we letting me use a shovel? I need the shovel. Let us.
She wants you
I
to,
want
or they want you to keep it fresh.
I want Sapira to win. Sapira, we're all winners. We are all winners here. We got.
There are, yeah.
Everyone got a shovel. Oh. So.
How can I help you?
I don't know. I guess I'm fine.
Alrighty. Let me know if you need directions or want to buy anything.
Oh, what are you selling?
Well, we have provincial park merch. Some hiking supplies like golden feathers.
What are those? They sound cool.
They are cool. They make rock climbing easier. And in your case, will also help you fly.
Also, let it be known that I am standing in a campfire this whole time.
You can buy one for 40 coins.
Oh,
Do you have 40
man.
coins?
No, okay. I need to get a little bit more coins. All right. We're going to do it.
Alrighty, take care.
We're going to use our shovel, and we're going to find some coins. Just a little cold, so maybe closer to the fire. That's right, John. See if this...
Burnout Lawyer said you're so mature.
I don't think I am, but thank you. We're all mature in different ways. All right, we got our coins.
Yay!
All right, let's get this feather, and then we can also get that one on top, I think, once we get it. Okay, here we go.
What's up? Can I buy a golden feather? Sure, here you go.
All right.
Yay! Yay!
All right.
So let me explain how they work. If you press Z while in midair, you can flap your wings or a double jump. But that's not all. To climb a wall, push against it and hold Z. The more golden feathers you have, the more you'll be able to climb and fly. Have fun out there.
All right. We got our golden feather.
Ooh,
yeah.
Look at you.
Showing off.
You're showing off.
Great. We got another golden feather.
Yay.
Do you guys enjoy going on hikes and walking through nature? John, that's a great question. I was just talking to Sapira about this recently, and I can ask you again now. Sapira, what is your experience with hiking? You know, we're playing this game called A Short Hike, and you now live in Las Vegas, but you've lived in other parts, of the country and world before.
Yeah, so I grew up in Hong Kong, and I moved to Honolulu when I was 10 years old. And I lived there until I was 17. And then I lived in Southern California. So I moved to Nevada 5 years ago. And it's such a different place compared to all the places that I lived. And I was actually never like a nature person, not even when I was in Honolulu in Hawaii until I actually moved out here. When now, like, I really do enjoy nature. And I was sharing with Kathleen, especially when playing this game, like, it made me realize, like, before I lived in the desert, I didn't understand why artists are so inspired by the desert, because my assumption was there's nothing in the desert, but that nothingness, or like, it's not A, it's not nothing, and B, it's a really specific environment that you won't experience in many other parts of the world. And it is very, very inspiring, and I can totally understand. Without being in it, I would have never known. But now, having been in it and having lived around it, I really can understand how artists are really inspired and like being gross in that environment. All right, we found another artist.
We did.
The same artist, except a different spot.
Death, just death in a desert. Oh, death can also be poetic and artistic. I think there's death and life, for sure. All right, artist part 2. We did it. Okay.
Hey, it's you again.
Yep. Classic me again.
So, what do you think about this so far?
Whoa. This is really good. It's like better than real life.
Haha, well, I don't think I can compete with real life. But I am happy with it so far. I don't know if it will fit into my exhibit, though. I'm trying to come up with something more interesting. I'm going to follow one of the rivers up to its source. I have an idea for a painting from that perspective.
All right, so we're going to have to find a river. Sapira, have you always known that you wanted to be an artist? Like, what sort of drove you like down this path? Like, what brings you to like where you are today?
Sure. I love sharing this story because, like, I always start with like, hey.
I'll just let this dialogue play out while we don't have to read this. I'll just let it play out while you explain.
Okay. So, like, I try to, but it's so cute.
It is.
Oh, it's screaming at his aunt.
Okay, we can read this real quick. It's me! Okay. Can you hear me up here?
Sure can.
Oh, okay.
Have fun up there.
Yeah. Okay, she's so cute. I will.
That's adorable.
Oh, accidentally. Okay. I'm just gonna jump. Okay, sorry, I'll let you explain now.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually, like, it's always been something that I have done as a child. I always gravitate towards making, especially, you know, drawing on paper. But I actually, like, throughout my life, especially after, like, during college and after college, I really tried to, like, quote unquote give up on art. Like, I wasn't going to pursue it because I had, like, really internalized a lot of, like, this dialogue that especially from my upbringing, that, like, art wasn't a viable career. So I never took it seriously. I never took it as seriously as a career, even when I decided to go back to grad school. And I mean, I was still, I took my art seriously, but I didn't take it as a career seriously. And I was actually, so I worked for the California state government for 10 years. I was an analyst, and I had my own, like, separate career from my art. And it wasn't until we moved to Nevada where, like, my husband, we moved because of his job, but it was because I had to quit, that, like, I kind of, like, had that security blanket of, like, a sustainable or, like, safe career. Like, it was quote unquote taken away from me. Like, it wasn't actually taken away. We made a decision that like I was like, oh, okay, maybe I feel safe enough to really explore this path
Hmm.
as a career. So yeah, was that a long story?
No, I think that's good. But your art now, like, how did you discover like that particular style of painting with like the special inks and everything?
Yeah, so I also studied Chinese brush painting. That was like the first style that I was introduced to when I really started learning in my teens. And um, and in grad school, I started playing with ink
Hmm.
and different types of ink, and I've come to create this blend that is very characteristic to my artwork. And it's a blend of Sumi Chinese ink
Hmm.
and calligrapher's Indian ink, and I associate calligrapher's Indian ink to like the Western art education that I have, and I blend the two like to make this specific blend of ink that is characteristic to the work, but it also like represent my identity as an immigrant. Um, yeah, so that's kind of the story of the material.
And you've painted with coffee or tea before too?
I painted with soy
Soy
sauce.
sauce, that's right.
Yeah.
Which is, I think,
I
is so
have them.
cool.
Yeah, in my undergraduate thesis, I was like being a regular college student where like I wasn't cleaning very often, so I had this soy sauce that was on my table for a couple of days, and it had like kind of condensed down to this like deep dark brown. And I was like, okay, maybe I can paint with this. And it turns out to be like a beautiful wash that was very close to my skin color, and I used it as like the base for a lot of the paintings.
Awesome. This is kind of horrible of me, but when I was younger, I used to, when I younger, I mean like 3, 4 years old, I played with Barbies and I would chop off all of my Barbies' hair and then I would dip them into soy sauce. And then this, and
What?
then the hair would get like really sticky and gross. But I think that was kind of my way of like, I was playing with all these blonde Barbies and I wanted Barbies that had like my color hair. And so I was like, soy sauce, it's like paint. I just like kind of cringe thinking about that now. Um, but I guess even at that age, I guess I was thinking about like representation, like Asian American representation. I saw recently they're coming out with a new Barbie, I think Anime Wong, which is pretty cool. But
That's cool.
yeah, organic hair dye, absolutely. Just really
Yeah.
smelly and kind of gross. And then I would also make my Barbies clothes out of like toilet paper and like paper towels. Like I would
Mm.
draw on it and then like, cut out little holes with like scissors and then they look like little cave people. But that was me as a child. All right.
That
I'm
sounds awesome.
looking at this map and I'm thinking, okay, we have to find a river and that's where we're going to find the artist next. So we're just going to explore a little bit.
Okay, I see a question from John. What has been your biggest struggle as an artist, motivation wise? Oh, we use a lot of nail polish on our Barbies. Yeah, nail polish is another one. Biggest struggle. I think my biggest struggle is not having enough time. I feel like motivation is like it's I don't think I can speak to the motivation part because it's always been so core in my being that I need to like make something. So even like this is a very relaxing game, but the games I actually generally gravitate towards too are like city builders or like Animal Crossing, where you're like making something, like you're trying to create something.
Mm-hmm.
So like even like what I find relaxing is to make stuff. So I often find like not motivation is not the struggle. It's more like trying to fit making and with a good headspace with life, because life is we all have to have jobs to support ourselves. So Yeah.
I think that's
Sorry, I don't know if that's.
no, I think that was a good question and answer. And then if there are any artists, any other artists in the chat, I think this would also be a good question for you. You know, like what are some things that you might struggle with as an artist or even just as a creative person? I think for me, um, I would describe myself as a creative person, not necessarily like an artist or a musician, but for me, it's just finding time, really. Because I think I will always love to create. It's just whether or not I have the time or resources to do all the things I want to do. I'm really struggling to get on this bridge. You can do it.
There you go. Oh,
It's so
cute.
slow.
It's like it's literally penguin walking.
Yeah. Tan, I love games where you create things. I've done it an inordinate amount of times in City Skylines. Okay, I have a funny story about City Skylines. When that game first came out, the first time I played it, I have never done this with any other game in my life. I think I started it around like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I was like, oh, I'll just play it and then I'll go have lunch. I just remember like starting the game, and then next thing I knew, I was like, why does like my whole body hurt? Like, why am I so tired? And it was 6 p.m. I just
Holy
sat
moly.
and played for like 9, 10 hours straight without moving. Because that first game, the first gameplay session, it was just so addictive. So yes, Tan. That is Skylines in a nutshell. Oh, a treasure map.
Oh, now I want to play Skitty City Skylines.
Yeah, I'm very bad at it. I'm not a very organized person, so my cities aren't like super pretty. But I like playing it just because I think it's really relaxing, like laying everything out, and then you can imagine, the little people. I'm gonna talk to this dog. Hello.
Hey yo, how's the hike treating you?
Oh, it's been nice. It's really beautiful here.
I know, right? The view from the top will be so good.
I love how this game breaks up the text. It's really cute.
Yeah.
You're going to Hawk Peak too?
Oh no. That's too intense for me.
Oh.
I'm just going to Outlook Point. Will I see you there?
Yeah, I'll meet you at the top.
Awesome. Catch you later.
Okay, let's go follow this dog because I think we can get nice things if we meet him at the top. John, I love making music and I have a lot of ideas and cool concepts in my head, but as soon as I play something, it all disappears. That would be something I struggle with most. I understand that too.
Honey Bunches said, I struggle with the motivation without having a space or setup. I.e. having to pull all my painting supplies or clay supply out derails me. Yeah. I have a dedicated spot in my room now that I don't put away stuff. It's like dedicated to be messy. It drives me crazy sometimes, but it's definitely helps. You're taking it down like one tiny barrier to your painting
Right.
or your art making.
It's like how everyone who told me, like when I said I was going to learn the guitar, they said, make sure you keep your guitar out of the case so you see it and it reminds you to practice.
I love that. But then you also feel guilt if you're not practicing.
It's true. It's right behind me and I haven't touched it in a while.
Hey, good to see you up here. Is it just me? Or is it kind of epic?
Yeah, it's epic.
Yes. The wind in my face. It makes me feel so good. The visitor center is so tiny from here. Hey. Oh, that reminds me. Take this. Ooh. Apparently there's some sort of treasure buried at Sid Beach. I couldn't find anything. Maybe you'll have better luck.
All right. Well, I don't know if we'll go treasure hunting today, but we'll maybe another future playthrough.
Yay, a feather.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love, like, as a kid, when you go to like state parks or like national monuments, like Grand Canyon, for example, they have those like binoculars that you
Mhm.
can use. I always hated the ones that you had to pay for because then, like my parents wouldn't
I
pay for
know.
it. But all the other ones, I loved seeing the view.
I agree. That little scene reminded me of like one of my favorite traveling memories. Um, and it was like a stranger offering you like a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mom and I went to Korea. It's probably like 8 years ago, I think.
Okay.
And it was, yeah, no, 6 years ago. Sorry. So it was 6 years ago, and we joined this.
Wait,
We
we
were in
could have
Hong
been in
Kong. We joined this
Korea at the same
tour.
time. Sorry. I just realized we could have almost been in
Really?
there. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to
So
interrupt.
yeah. So we so it was like it was a cruise, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not a cruise, sorry, it was a group tour, with the bus and everything. So the first stop, because it was an overnight flight, they were going to like drop us off at like this um Korean spa, and then we can nap in like the common area.
Mm-hmm.
And in Hong Kong, folks are pretty like they don't they don't they can't do public nudity. It's really uncomfortable for them to have to be in a shared bath. So nobody from our tour went to the bath side. They all went to like the like warmed, heated floor, resting co-ed area, pajama side.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just me and my mom. Like we're like, okay, we gotta try it, And like we had no idea what we're doing. We're both like naked. We walk into the bath, right? And there was this one lady there, and she saw us. We're like, we had no idea what we're doing. But then like she didn't speak any English or Cantonese, but like she came up and like showed us how to use the spa,
Uh-huh.
and like she gave us little sponges and soap to like use too. But like I've never had like such a kind moment where like a stranger just totally nude like giving me stuff and like helping me. But it was like such like a lovely moment where like, wow, this I don't know, for me it was, we were both like shy, and my mom and I were like shy and awkward, but like
Mm-hmm.
this lady was totally like, let me help you. Yeah, so it was great.
I love that. Yeah, I think I also went to one of those like similar spas, except I was in an airport because I had to spend the night. So this is a pro tip. If anyone ever travels to Seoul and you find yourself like needing just like if you have like a long layover or I don't know, you have like a connecting flight that takes a while, you can use the spa there. Oh no.
Oh no.
Got distracted.
Oh no.
And you can
Oh
you can you
no.
can stay there overnight and it's so nice. Because you can sleep there for like fractions of what it would cost to stay at a hotel, or you can also use like the sauna and everything afterwards in the morning. They had like free skincare, at least on the women's side, and it was really great. I would definitely do it again. Like I loved the idea of just like sleeping in like a spa. So that was really really cool. Um, I kept my clothes on, but it was great. All right, so the artist is on the other side of this mountain. So we need to figure out how to get there.
In this game I love the gliding part.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Oh, I think I remember now, the artist is our by the student who asks for tuition. So let's go find them. Where I like it that Claire has no like she just has boundless energy. She can just run around forever. It reminds me of like when you're a little kid and you can just like dash around and sprint. And once you're an adult, we don't really like run around anymore like this.
No, that's me right there. That's how I walk.
Here, what are some other games you play? What is sort of your background with games?
My background with games. I think the first one that I really, really got into was The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
on PC. And yeah, did you ever play Sim Tower?
I did.
That was another one that I was really addicted to. Um, yeah, my husband and I we trade playing Octopath Traveler,
Mm-hmm.
and that although like that one has combat, it's not time. Like I don't need to react quickly.
Yeah.
I can play very slowly, and I have like someone that I can hand it off with when it gets too stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So I can handle that.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler is great. I also have not played the first one or the second one, but I have watched my boyfriend play it a lot, and he really enjoys it. So, um, really, really wonderful game. If people have not played it before, I think it sort of it's very nostalgic with the graphics. They're like those like two like the 8-bit like the sprites and everything. So it looks
Mhm.
really, really nice if you grew up playing those older games. Okay, we have a bird friend.
Okay, kid, you want to buy some golden feathers?
um, yeah, okay.
Cool. It'll be 100 coins per feather.
But that's more than twice as much as the visitor center.
Go buy feathers from them then.
Maybe I will.
So you gotta buy my feathers or what?
Fine. I don't think it's a licensed vendor. Burned out lawyer. You know what? I'm desperate for these feathers. I really need them.
All righty then, pay up.
Bad.
Smell you later.
We're gonna talk to him again.
So you're gonna buy my feathers or what?
Okay, what's your deal?
Was it my deal? Was your deal?
Well, I'm hiking up to Hawk Peak.
Wow. Sounds kind of basic.
Hey,
I'm just saying. Tourists come from all over. They're like, I'm gonna hike to Hawk Peak. Then they get up there and see that it actually takes real effort. And then they give up.
geez, you don't have to be like that.
I'm just saying. It's a little basic.
So, what is your deal? I gave you mine.
I need money.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be short on tuition next semester.
This makes me so
Aw.
sad. Is this like a sad like graduate student bird who has to literally like hawk golden feathers? This is so sad.
I'm nearly there though. Just trying to make some extra cash.
So we can't blame this bird. We have to blame the system that makes it so they can't afford a higher
No,
education.
it's true.
Huh. How much do you need?
Well, I after sell you all my junk. I'll still be short about 400 coins.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hey, Ninja.
but whatever. That's life, I guess.
Okay, well, Hawk Peak Trail. At least 7 golden feathers are required to complete this hike. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's. Okay, I'm just ignoring this. We can buy one more feather from him.
So you're gonna buy my feathers or what?
Fine.
Anything? Alrighty then, pay up.
Okay, so now we have the required amount of feathers. I do
Yay.
think the artist is around here. There they are. Perfect. Hello.
Yay.
I'm gonna grab this chest first. Wonderful. All right.
This painting isn't working.
What? I like it.
Thanks. This park is special to me. But I don't think I'm going to impress anyone with these.
Hey, I'm impressed.
I mean, like, leave an impression on anyone, I have to show people that I'm achieving something worthwhile, like academically.
Hmm.
I hear there's a graveyard in the shadow of the mountain. I'm going to try that next.
Okay. So tell me about, right, you say you empathize a lot with the artist and what they say. Have you felt that way before about your work, Sapir? Like, do you feel the need? Like, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. And I feel like every so often I will paint something and then I'll show it to, usually I show it to Brendan, my spouse, like first.
Mm-hmm.
He's usually the first one that sees it. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Like, what am I doing? And he'll be like, it's nice. And I'll be like, what is this?
Oh.
So yeah, I and I feel like artists in the chat will also probably have had this feeling or this conversation with
Mm-hmm.
someone. Yeah, and I find that like when the raccoon was like, I don't feel like it's doing anything academically. It's so like, what is the standard that we're holding ourselves to? What is that?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out. So this is our fourth encounter with the artist. And yeah, it's hard. You hear about like just the struggle of being creative. And I think, as we sort of follow this side quest, why are you so sad, raccoon? I want to know. Are you painting in the rain?
Yep,
Is that possible?
I'm trying. I don't have a lot of time. The exhibition is next week.
Spirit, have you ever painted anything a week before an exhibition? It seems like very
Oh my
last
god.
minute. You don't have to answer if it
Yeah.
incriminates you.
No, I do not do that.
That
I
sounds
do
kind of
not do
horrible.
that.
I
Yeah, that's really, really stressful. And I'm just a really big planner, so that usually does not happen.
Yeah. I definitely know in like academic circles, there are a lot of times where people will propose abstracts for papers or panels, for a conference, but then you don't actually write the paper or the presentation itself until like the week or two before the conference, or even, the few days before. So that is a very like real like stress thing happening right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nothing has been working so far. I finally got invited to show my work in the city. But everyone there is doing amazing contemporary work. I don't know if I can keep up.
But your stuff is beautiful.
Do you know who is curating the event? Ian Artsworth.
That is a very intimidating name.
Yeah. Famous contemporary artist, Ian Artsworth. He personally invited me to participate. And I'm going to show with my boring landscapes. He's going to take one look at them and whisper, that fails to resonate with me.
No.
I'm probably going to probably chop them in
Oh
half.
no. What? He won't do that. No.
He could. He's also a black belt.
Okay, well maybe he could.
So it's definitely possible. Sigh. But you're right. Trying to paint here is useless. Maybe I'll have better luck at Outlook Point.
All right, so we're gonna go back to Outlook Point now. I'm gonna explore a little bit, but yeah.
Burnout lawyers and critics are known for their martial arts skills. That's terrifying. Like verbal or written martial arts
Oh,
skills.
we have a friend.
Hi. My name is Avery. I'm on a quest to become a parkour racing master.
Neat.
You bet your bottom dollar it's neat. However, I'm trying to find someone to practice with. So, any chance you want to go for a race?
I'm so sorry, Avery. Later. I'm sorry.
Oh well. All right then.
We are on a mission. We can't stop to
We are on a
parkour.
mission.
But in the future, I'll come back for you. And meanwhile, goodbye, artist. This is very nice, the gliding. Oh, see some stuff to pick up. Sapira, I didn't share a link for this in chat, but if anyone wants to know more about like you or your artwork, where would you suggest that they go to learn more about you?
Yeah, so actually Instagram is probably the best place because I will have links to all the events and website and updates and stuff like that. So I can drop a link there in the chat.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. But even if you're not from Nevada, definitely if you're on Instagram or social media, give Sapira a follow. You guys can keep up with her work and see what she does, which is really great. And of course, we also have the Nevada Arts Council. And we'll be talking about that a little bit after the break, but I just wanted to promote your work here, well, because you're also, you know, a talented artist and respected in your own right. So I want to make sure you get your recognition that you deserve.
Thank you. Oh, I can't add links.
Okay, so
links deleted.
I can add it for you. Okay, so I'm going to share a link to Sapira's Instagram.
Thanks.
I forgot that only moderators can share links, and this is so you know, we don't get a lot of people spamming very suspicious links. Okay, we are going to go to Outlook Point, which I think was back there. That's where we met our dog friend. I think I just passed it. It's very easy to get lost. Pierre, do you feel like your heritage inspires your art at all? Like being, you know, from Hong Kong and then moving to the US and all the other places you've lived?
I think yes, definitely. But I was recently kind of I'm curating some works right now, and oh wait, let's finish this dialogue.
Okay,
and then
all right, sounds
I'll
good.
Go blabber.
All right. Whoa, this is really good. I love it.
Oh hey, I like it too, but I can't use this. Outlook Point has been painted to death.
Has it? You've got such a cool style.
Thanks, but it's just a landscape painting. This isn't bringing anything new to the table. I want people to feel something when they look at my work.
But I feel something when I look at it. It makes me happy. If I had that on my wall, I'd look at it every day and it would make every day better.
Oh, really?
Yes! I live out in a city. I love the city, but it's got none of this. You were invited to this show, right? They invited you because they know that your work is good. I'm sure they want to see this too.
I don't know. I need to think about this. I'm gonna find something new to paint. Maybe I should head back to where I started.
Hey. Okay, sorry, Sapira. I had asked you a question, and then
Oh
we
yes,
paused.
about yeah, because it was cute. Um, yeah, so I think I was like thinking about so okay, so let me back up. So this work I'm curating like
Oh,
and through
I didn't
like
mean to start this
teaching.
conversation.
Oh hey,
Sorry.
good. um and like and like this and like through working with student like especially some of some I think okay let me start over. I think my development as an artist at the time that I had developed my art, like my heritage is part of my identity and it's very core to my work. But I think um, if I had developed my skills in a different time or went to grad school in a different time, I might have a completely different approach.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think it's talked about in a lot of other places. It not like it's in it's more discussed in a mainstream conversation now, where I don't need to constantly examine that part of myself
Right.
and bring that to people's awareness, and I can just develop as an artist and not as like a Chinese artist or
Right.
some if that yeah.
No, I think that makes
So
sense. No, thank you for sharing that because I think it's important to think that, when we point out someone's, like part of someone's identity, like why are we doing that? Like, is it always necessary to maybe mention, someone's race or where they came from or
mhm.
anything else like that? Like when you can just be yourself. But yeah, I was curious. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sakura. Okay, this brings us to the end of our artist side quest. Hey, hello.
Is Ranger John gonna be in this painting?
Oh,
Was that you?
yes, I am asking that. Yeah, is Ranger John going to be in this painting? John, this is you from chat, Ranger John.
Yep. He agreed to be in this one. Cause he's the best. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. It's okay. I can paint the non-blushing version if you want.
Whoa, this is looking really good.
I think I'm just gonna paint the things I want to paint instead of painting the things I think other people want me to paint.
I love that.
At the very least, it's making things easier. And you want to paint me? Well, you're part of the park too. I just want to capture all aspects of the park.
That sounds cool.
Oh, also, on my way down from the mountain, I found this.
Oh, so nice.
Oh, John told me you were collecting them. So I thought you should have it.
Well, thank you, John, and thank you, artist. I don't think we ever found out the artist's name, but that was so nice.
Yeah, just raccoon artists.
Yeah, I wonder if we talked to them if they continue the dialogue.
I'm still not sure what I'll put in the exhibit, but I don't feel as worried about it.
I think you should put it all in.
Yeah? Even the watered down rainy painting?
Yeah, it's all part of the experience. Plus, it looked pretty cool.
You know? That's not a bad idea.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Okay, so we've sort of come, I don't want to say full circle, but this is the end of our journey with the artist. So when we first found them, right, they were just a little bit further south of here in painting.
Yeah.
And they felt like they should be painting what was expected of them. And now they feel like they found their own voice and they want to paint what they want to do. And this first thing happens to be a portrait.
I know. And I also want to add like the paintings that I personally resonate with are like really honest paintings. Like they feel like the artist is really trying to get me to understand something or to see something or to experience something. And like I call them like the honest work. The honest work are always like really, really powerful and really captivating. And it's because the artist has like discarded all these external like pressure and they're just there to produce the work that they want to produce. So that's why I love this game, because it's like this is how I feel about art and those are the struggles.
Well,
Yep.
thank you for sharing this space. So there's so much more of this game left to explore. We didn't even make it up to the top of Hawk Peak, which is where we can finally get some reception on our phone. And of course, there's other side quests. But how about we end our short hike playthrough right here, and we'll take a short break, and then we'll get back and we'll chat for a little bit. So let me save and
Sounds
quit.
good.
All right. Exit. Okay, we are going to take a very brief break, like a 3 to 5 minute break. So while we get ready for the next segment of our stream, which is just me chatting to Sapira as you see us here now. So, go get hydrated, stand up and stretch if you need it, and we will be right back. Thanks. Hello, everyone. We are back with Sapira. I hope you had a good break. So, this is the part of our stream where we get to learn a little bit more about Sapira and the work she does, both as an artist and an educator, and her work at the Nevada Arts Council. So, Sapira, during the game, I did ask you a little bit, about your, like, how did you come to be? Like, how did you end up here? I'm wondering if, I'll start with a sort of another origin question, which is I don't know. How did you come to learn about the Nevada Arts Council and get involved? Like, how does one learn about the Arts Council in Nevada? I feel like this is such a great resource for Nevadans, but not a lot of people always know about it. So we'd love to get the word out and support what you do.
Yeah, so our website is always available. You should always sign up for our newsletter, our online newsletter. We send them, we don't spam you. They're very great resources that we have. And you can see it in the stream, our website right now. We have a great events calendar that you can find out events, art and culture events across the state. And if you have any arts and culture events that you would like to share, please do add them to our calendar. You can always follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. And all that information is on the website. So that's the first place that I would go and check out. Depending on like how you like to consume media, I do like to use Instagram because I check it often. So whatever's easiest for you. But our great, awesome art initiative person, who I don't know if she's still on the call, but Kaz is the person that shares all of our wonderful events and connect us to everyone online. So we got to give her props for sharing and connecting us.
There she is. Hey, Cass.
Hope
Yeah,
that
you do
answers the
great
question.
work. No, thank you. So absolutely. So one thing that I know you're trying to do is share more events on your calendar on your website, and we have a link above to the Nevada Arts Council. So, Sapira, what do you do? What does an artist service specialist, artist service program specialist do?
Program specialist. Yeah. So we have different sections in the program. So different folks are managing different stuff. So we have arts education, who is managed by Mary Jane. Great person if you are an arts educator or you're interested in art programming. Arts education programming for your organization. So we also have our grants team. Most of our efforts are to distribute NEA funding and some state funding to our constituents in Nevada. So we fund a lot of our organization and our projects. And that's what the grant team does. And all the other programs also support the grants team because we have specific grants for everyone. Sorry, going on really long. But and we also have our CAD, which are led, it's community arts development, which is led by Erica and Michelle, great people to know of your art organization. And they have so many tools to support you. And if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, they have like all of the info that you need to get started as a nonprofit. So even if you're not a specifically like arts orientated organization, there's still a lot of resource for you. And then we have Kaz, who connects all of us. And then we have artist services, which is Stefan and I. We support our focus is supporting individual artists, in contrast to community arts development, which are more geared towards organizations. So our unit supports artists that are in visual arts, literary and performing artists, and creatives in general. We have grants for individual artist projects. We have our artist fellowship, which we're really, really excited to announce our FY23 fellows very, very soon. And then we'll be opening up application for our FY24 fellows, which will be in the literary arts and performing arts category. Well, I'm so excited about it. It's really fun to like really recognize folks that have just like excellent bodies of work, and it's like it's so cool as a job to be like, looking at people's work, talking to people about like artists about their practice and their craft and learning about them and sharing the work. It's I don't know, it's the best job ever. And I also want to share that we have a touring initiative. So we have professionally curated exhibitions that we will bring to any space that want to rent out the exhibition. Is only $150, so it's really accessible. And we'll install it for you, and you can share that with your community for 8 weeks at a time, or longer if you want. But just let us know. So actually, that part of the job is also super cool because you get to see you get to see places in Nevada that you would never think to travel to, or I personally I didn't know existed, but it's really, really, really awesome to see these different places and like to get to know the folks that are outside of city centers.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think, our positions are similar in that we work with people all across the state, people and organizations. And I think, as you're saying, before you move to Nevada or before you really lived in a desert because you're in Las Vegas right now, you don't always know all of the things that are available to you. Like, you thought like the desert was full of like maybe there was nothing or it was empty. But once you look around, you realize no, it's actually full of life and there's connections everywhere. And that's really how I feel about the arts and culture scene and the humanities scene in Nevada. Like I think it's really rich and vibrant and I love all the connections. And I do love traveling around the state for my job as well when I'm able to. I think that's really special being able to highlight Nevada stories and individuals in the work they do for, a greater stage in the public. So that's awesome, Sapira. I'm wondering if you can
Yeah, it's the
share.
coolest job.
Yeah. I like mine too. We all have cool jobs, which is great. It's great when you like your job.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about I guess you mentioned I guess there's opportunities coming up for folks to apply. So we have, of course, your website. What are some other like neat projects or things that the Arts Council does? I know that you're working to find a state folklorist, and that's through the Arts Council, which I think a lot of people might not realize. What are some other things? I'm sort of answering my own question. I think about like the creative aging work that Mary Jane does, but what are some other um, like fun things that the Arts Council does?
Yeah, so we also have a poet laureate. We kind of manage the state poet laureate program. Our current state laureate is Gail Marie Pallmeyer. She currently has a really, really cool project. It's called Nevadans to Nevadans. What I Need to Tell You, and let me make sure I say it right. And it's Piscillary poetry project where you write letters to you could be like another person in Nevada, you can write it to a place, you can be a place writing to a person. So there's a lot of examples. I think we have published 99 poems on our
Oh, that's
website
a
so
lot.
far. Yeah, and then we are also going to have a culminating event. We're so excited about it, and we'll share a lot more about it very soon. It's going to be a readers theater.
Hmm.
So there will be poets performing and reading some of these poems on stage in Oaks Park in Fallon.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very. It will be really amazing. And if you can't make it, we will definitely be filming it and recording it, and we'll be sharing it on our YouTube very soon.
Is that taking place in the summer or the fall? You know,
It's going to be on June
June
10th. Thank
10th?
you for reminding me to share.
Yeah, well, I was curious because we were both in Ely recently for the Nevada Arts Council Basin to Range Exchange, which is another very cool thing that you all do for the people around our state. But I drove to Ely together with our executive director, Christina Barr. So we left Reno and then we drove Highway 50, which is the so-called loneliest highway in America.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not lonely. It was great. It was one of the most beautiful rides I've ever been on. But we stopped in Fallon, or we drove through Fallon on the way to Ely. And Christina told me that Fallon has, do you know about this? That they have these amazing, like yellow, like golden melons that grow there. And I didn't know about that. And I wish I could try some. So if I don't know when
Yeah.
melons peak. I don't know when it's melon season. Maybe it's in the fall. I imagine it probably need more than a month to grow. But I thought that was so cool about Fallon.
Yeah, I think it was Gail Marie that told me it was the oasis of Nevada, and it's green, they grow stuff there. So it's stuff I didn't know. I thought Nevada was all desert, but
Yeah, once
that's
you go up
that's
north
totally an
and out of
unfair.
Vegas, yeah, once you leave Vegas, you're like, oh, it's not all, it's always
It's
so
so
hot.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which is why I definitely encourage people to get a honey bunch. You're going for the cantaloupes. Maybe that, yeah. So maybe the melons slash cantaloupes. That's what I'm thinking of. Which is again, like you don't always think Nevada and cantaloupes, but Fallon,
Mhm.
Fallon is definitely one of those. Also, did you know? I like to tell people this, especially when they're in Nevada or from Nevada. Did you know Nevada is the most mountainous state in the U.S.? We have the most mountains, and you would think like I don't know, Colorado or somewhere on the East Coast along like the Appalachian. But no, it's
Mhm.
Nevada, which is so fascinating, right? Because you think desert, but no, mountains. We have the most mountains in the US.
That's that's crazy. That's crazy. Also, I found Fallon Cantaloupe Festival.
Oh,
There's a festival, which is very cool. August 25th to 27th.
I really want some
So,
now. Let
and
it be
I think you
August.
have to book your ticket.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. And yeah, Tan, you said Colorado, Utah. No, it's Nevada. And I think I believe it now after having seen doing that drive from Reno to Ely and then from Ely to Vegas, even that like driving down south, you pass by so many mountain ranges. It is really, really,
Mhm.
really cool. So real girl, yes, this is a fact. Sapira, I'm wondering if you can tell us, I guess, and this is sort of pivoting a little bit away from the Arts Council, though we can certainly go back, just a little bit more about your art. And so when I was reading your bio, I said that one of the things, and this is in your bio, that you're interested in proprioception, ways of knowing about the body. Can you tell us a little bit more about this and maybe how you became interested in the body and why, or like how you express this through your art?
Yeah, so I think there was like a lot of the series that I make, um, they kind of coalesce in my brain before I can really articulate them,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it has to do with like something that I have learned or experienced through my body, and not like conscious thoughts. And then I make the artwork, and then I interpret what the artwork was about, and like and I kind of work through that experience. So it's really like things that I have learned through my body instead of like reading a book or having a conversation. And I that is like kind of a through line through all of my work. So that's why it's in this statement. For example, um, the pandemic, um, during the pandemic, I also developed type 1 diabetes, and it was like really, I had a really difficult time. And I was misdiagnosed
Um,
for a year and a half. So I was being treated for something complete for type 2, which is not the treatment that you need for type 1. And I was like going through a lot of stuff. And I made these work about connecting and finding community, and it was like things that my body, or like the experience my body went through,
mhm.
that produced the work. Is Sorry, that came out like in jumbles.
No, no, that I think I understood it. I also put a link. I don't know if you were
Okay.
inspired by seeing that. Sapira wrote a little bit about her experience, but also you can see some of the art that she created in the link in chat from our Humanities Heart to Heart series. You're actually one of the first people I ever reached out to for this. It's just so like wonderful that we're having this full circle moment too on Humanities at Play now. Um, But if you have time to click on that link, you can see some more examples of Sapira's work and learn a little bit more about her. Um, Sapira, do you ever find that, I don't know, when you're painting or on the ground, like just the way that you paint, does that affect like the work that happens? Like recently, if you want to talk more about this, you painted these huge, like, I don't know, long or tall pieces, right, outside of
Yeah.
City Hall. Like, how do you even like set that up? And like, I just imagine like, talk about like proprioception, like the physical process of making something like that must have also been
Hmm.
I thought it must have been intense, but I don't know if you want to chat up a little bit more about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So it is very like I feel like art making is very physical in a lot of ways. And you like when I teach life drawing, like your body needs to move in a specific way. You have to move in a different way than way you used to. You know, making big gestures. You have to know the materials. It's really like physically driven. And there's actually my when I went to grad school, my theory teacher was she wrote a lot about how Chinese brush painting is very performative. Performative isn't like you need to physically move the paint and the brush. So yeah, there's you definitely have to connect with the physical and the way I operate. And you know, some part of it too, I feel like it's because we immigrated when I was pretty young, and a lot of my art skills developed like while I was trying to adapt and learn English. Like, and I felt like a lot of times language wasn't the first place that I gravitate towards too when I was trying to express or trying to understand. Like, it doesn't need specific mode of like speaking or processing information. So I think that's how everything kind of coalesced.
I shared a link. If people want to learn more, the Windows on First. This is for people in Las Vegas. If you haven't seen it, you can still. It's up for a while, which is great. So let me double check. This is
Yeah.
up until July
I think
25th.
Yeah. And thank you for checking it out in person
Yeah.
after driving all day.
No, it was really I was like emotionally touched. So I think definitely when you think about like
Oh,
trying to convey certain experiences or thoughts through your work, I think just if you can see the figures that Sapira painted, especially in um such large scale, go ahead and check it out. What are your plans afterwards? Like what do you do with your pieces after they're done exhibiting, especially with such large ones? Like what are you gonna do?
it's I'm lucky that I work on paper, so it could be stored flat or I can roll it up
Mm.
and it's not that inconvenient. But like I've gone through a lot of purges where you just got rid of the work. Most of the time it's in the garage, but yeah, I've gone through a lot of periods of purging.
That's fair. I feel like that's what I would do if I like full time like crocheted or knitted or like did stuff, I would just build up. And I think thankfully right now most of my creative energy is poured into like piano. So I guess my sheet music pile is building up, but like the at least music's intangible, so that part is fine. I don't need to put it in the garage. I totally get it. Sapira, I have another question for you. And again, friends in chat, if you have any questions for Sapira, feel free to ask them of her. We're here for you too. But Sapira, this is something that not everyone knows about you, but you also create wonderful stickers. And your can you
Yes.
can you chat about your stickers and how you help other people organize their lives? This is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, so I think folks don't know that because there's always this like shun like crafting is like not contemporary art, which is like so stupid. And I don't think that attitude is as prevalent as it was before. But yes, I make stickers for planners and it's so fun. And you know how you so like okay, the game is like the perfect like example because the game in the raccoon was like I just want to make and I don't want this external pressure, and whenever I make like art that are more in line with my contemporary practice, that pressure is kind of always there, like you can't really get rid of it. And like I've kind of talked about how like I always have this like need to make, so the stickers are definitely a part that where like I can make this, I can make it without any strings attached. I don't think I have to think about like if I'm putting it out there, it needs to say something, or like I need to have a work statement to accompany stickers. And also I started the business because when I started in 2017, they're called the category of stickers of like people, they're called dolls. and they were like literally all white. There were like no range in skin tonal representation. And I had such a hard time thinking, like, why would I start drawing to represent other people? But I actually had a lot of requests to do this because I was the artist with the skill to be able to bring representation to the market. But so that's why the business started. But since then, like the representation part of stickers has really expanded, which is amazing. And yeah, so that's how the business started. But the other part of it is also like it's a necessity for creatives to really take control of their schedule to make time to make stuff, because it's a lot of times that is not how you support yourself with the job that you have. And so making sure that everything is taken care of so you can have a good space and time to pursue your passion and your practice is really important. So I also do workshops on how to prioritize schedule so you can work on the things that you care about.
That's really great. Thank you for sharing that. And I do see we have a question in chat from Rio Girl. So, Sapira, you curated an exhibition for Nevada Humanities last year for a little program gallery in Las Vegas. Could you talk a little bit about the significance of this exhibition? So, it's called Along the Colorado, and there's a link to it. And
I
then
would love to talk about it.
great. And
Yes.
I'll read this very kind comment too from Burned Out Lawyer. Thank you. So, you're an amazing mix of the poetic with the practical. I first saw your work at Core Contemporary, and there are large pieces of work. I was surprised to find recently that you also do smaller pieces of work. How do you make decisions about the scale of your work, and how does it influence the design? So, maybe we can chat about the exhibition first, and then we can answer Burned Out Lawyer's question.
Sure. Yeah. So the exhibition Along the Colorado is about the drought of the Colorado River. And I thought it was really important to bring in artists that share water with us from through the Colorado. So I have artists from it's at least seven different states and beyond, whose practice and work and research has to deal with the water of the Colorado. And I also included scientists and policymakers in the exhibition as well. So the exhibition is currently in Arizona. It was in California. Now it's in Arizona. And we will, oh, sorry, my brain is everywhere. So but there's so many part of the exhibition that I want to talk about and to share because it's a big passion of mine, and there's so many interesting work. But a lot of the works deals with expansion, consumption, and policy making, not just the beauty of the river, obviously, and water rights as well. And I included this really wonderful project. It's the okay, sorry, I don't remember the word. It's 150 years. It's not centennial, it's like quincentennial. I don't remember. But it was 150-year anniversary of the exploration of the Colorado River by John Wesley Powell, which was the second director of the USGS. And through his exploration, he had actually advised that okay, thank you, Tan.
Sesquicentennial.
Thank you. Thank you, Tan. So yeah, and at that time he had already advised the U.S. government that the West cannot sustain the expansion that they had planned for with the amount of water that it had at that time. So a lot of the work kind of deals with John Wesley Powell's work, but also when the project from the University of Wyoming was as earth science professor, Tom Minkley had coordinated a 70 days rafting expedition to not only collect samples and survey the river, but he also included artist teams to make work as they rafted down the Colorado. There's a there is a documentary that you can see about the project. It's very, very cool. So I was really lucky to have them on board, and we've been doing talks and viewings. And Southwest Contemporary also have an article about the exhibition, and I think there's going to be also a talk that will be about art and water coming up this month in May. But I don't have the details, so I apologize. So that's the exhibition.
No, I always think I never thought about the importance of water until I moved out to the West because I grew up in a suburb of Chicago. So it's like rain everywhere. We literally live next to a lake. Sprinklers, people, everyone waters their like beautiful like grass lawns. And then you move out to the West, and this is the first time where I lived in, a house and apartment where, there are like rock gardens. We got notices in the mail about, saving our water and which day you could water if you wanted to use it. So, yeah, definitely a really important topic. And I'm glad that you curated this exhibition that combines both arts and sciences and humanities to get people to think. Because I think sometimes people think, art gallery, you're just there to like look and not really think. Or if you're thinking, maybe it's just about the art and the artist's motivations. But here you have an exhibition that gets people to think more deeply about this issue that affects everyone, not just in the West, but I think globally as well, as you think about climate change and all of that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, how about we'll pivot to a burned out lawyer's question about the scale of your work and how it influences the design.
Yeah, so the scales really do depend on the space. A lot of time it's easier for me to think about where is this work going to be before I start making it. That will make the decision for me on the scale of the piece, and then the composition usually follows the frame, the framing of um, the dimension of the work that I'm going to include. And I want to add, when I was in grad school, um, somebody one of the comments was like, "You just making this big to make it big," because there was this thing like, "Oh, it's good, so it's so huge, like you get like the awe factor, and like it's kind of like frowned upon." Um, but now I'm like, f you, like I want to make it whatever size I want to make it, like get out of my face. Yeah, and I think that takes off the pressure on deciding what size you want to make your pieces. And a lot of times it's more like, I'm gonna just find whatever paper I have around. I'm just gonna get that. I'm just gonna start working on it. Yeah, because I feel like those decision actually gets in my way of making the not deciding, having the external things decide for me. I will solve the problem, whatever size that it is, that I have to work in, I guess. I hope that answers the questions.
Yeah, keep
Your,
asking superior
your question.
questions. Yeah, no, thank you for asking that, burned out lawyer. Okay, Sapira, I'm gonna ask you. I'll read your comment. What I love is that the stereotype of Asian American, especially females, is not to take up much space. That's part of why I love your art. Right? There's like a freedom in sort of choosing the scale that you want.
Yeah, and it's that like f you, like no, it's gonna be even bigger now. It's gonna be 2 rolls of paper. I don't know.
This is a little bit of an aside, but Sapira, I don't know if you watch much anime. I'll admit that I don't watch a ton, but I'm asking this because one of my favorite series, it's a little bit old. It's called Honey and Clover. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's really gorgeous. There's 2 seasons. I would suggest the first one. Well, I guess there's a sequel called Honey and Clover too, but Honey and Clover is it's about art school students, and the whole thing is done in this gorgeous like watercolor style. The music is beautiful. Um, if you've never seen it, I think you should check it out. I think you might, maybe it might be too close to the truth, like too real, but I definitely suggest it for anyone interested in art and making art and who might have gone through school to do
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
If you do watch it, let me know. I want to know what you think.
I will.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a question that I like to ask everyone who appears on Humanities at Play for the first time. and has this sort of interview portion of the stream, and that is what do the humanities mean to you? And this is different for everyone. And I think this is why we like to ask because we all have such different ideas. But for you, what do the humanities mean?
I think when I first encountered the word, it was like when I was applying to college, like, well, the humanities, like it's like an academic study that encompasses specific discipline. But as an artist now, and as a curator, like I definitely feel like it's in everything that, especially like when my interest is like learning through the body, everything that people, humans, um, interact with or think about becomes part of humanities in some way. Even like the study of like a plant, that's really specifically in science, but like we share a planet with this plant. Like our actions, um our everyday actions have effect on the environment that will affect this plant. So in my mind, like I can connect almost anything that I can think about back to humanities. As in my brain, like I define humanities as like um our lived experience, our thoughts, and our ideas. So I would say that it would mean everything, everything to me.
Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I don't think there's one, right answer. I think if there were, we would all know. It'd be like sort of like, like what's it called in science, and you have laws versus theories, right? There'd be like a law of the humanities versus just what are the humanities. I definitely agree that I guess through my job, I love that we have this really big focus on the humanities in everyday life and not just, the academic disciplines, which is where I think most people turn to first. So thank you for sharing that understanding. A burned out lawyer noted that you can stream Honey and Clover on Prime.
Oh, nice.
Yes. If you can watch the Japanese version, or with the Japanese voices with English subtitles, I definitely recommend doing that. All right, Sapira, I have just a couple more questions for you before we end our stream today, unless people have other questions they want to ask. But Sapira, what are your top three favorite places in Nevada?
Okay. So number is going to sound silly, but number one is my studio, and it's very personal because I think I mentioned before I was never able to really pursue art as a career, as like the thing that I do every day. And I was never able to do that until I moved to Nevada. Like Nevada, the people here, um, and and the environment really had allowed me to be a creative person and an artist, and support myself through other various form of my art. So my studio is my favorite place, but it's also like Nevada itself. It gave me so many opportunities. Um, so that's number one. The second place is it's also going to sound silly, but it's the Disc Golf Trail in Summerlin in Piccoli Ranch. It's a disc golf trail that runs through the community, and during the pandemic, it was like my everyday walk. It's beautiful. It's technically private, but I use it every day
Do you play
when I
disc
live
golf
there.
or
But
no?
I don't. I just walk. And, I was thinking about how lovely that space is because we live in the desert. And we had just passed a law, like, you can't have green stuff as decorative in medians and things like that. And I was contemplating like how relaxed I feel in a green space when it's so rare here in Southern Nevada, but it was a really active shared green space. And I thought it was like really good use of water, that the community can enjoy. You don't need the green in your lawn, but like we can all share this green space, that has like it's multi-use. Like people walk their dogs.
Mhm.
There's like little playgrounds sprinkled through the disc golf trail. So I really love that area. And then the last one would have to be like you mentioned, like the drive on the loneliest highway was like beautiful, and like I definitely feel like the spaces between towns and cities in Nevada are like some of my favorite. I love driving. I love um I love the uniqueness of the experience. Like I don't see that anywhere else. And it reminds me of like swimming in the ocean where like you when you're underwater, you kind of lose direction. Like you don't know which way is left or, right or north or east and south and stuff like that. Like it feels like that. Like you lose some senses, and it puts your body in a different space. And I don't think I've ever had that experience in any of the other places that I lived. And it's just so beautiful. Like you don't know how beautiful the desert is until you're in it.
Right.
So those are my favorite places.
Thank you for sharing. I like your last, well, actually, I liked all of your answers because they're so personal to you, right? And I am now curious about this disc golf trail, and I want to see it the next time I'm in
It's
in
nice.
there.
It's very nice.
Hey, Angry Ostrich, welcome in. He writes, I just saw something earlier today that when humans don't have guidance in a direction, they tend to walk in circles. I could see that. It's kind of like how I don't know about you, but like my car, I feel like has a tendency to drift either like left or right. I forget which way. And someone explained this to me once, like it's designed to do it for some reason. I wonder if just like my body is just slightly off balance because I also have scoliosis. So I'm just crooked in general, but I would just kind of wander in circles. That's very cool. Sapira, is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone today before we head out? And again, if you have any other last questions or comments, feel free to share them. But I feel like, first of all, thank you for sharing so much about the Arts Council today. And then, a little bit about your experience as an artist. I always like chatting up other artists, especially just learning more about your experience. Because I think I think now that I'm in this position, working with other authors and artists and poets has been so rewarding. And when I was growing up, I always thought artists are only, the people that you hang up in like the museums and they're so like unreachable or unapproachable. And I'm finding now, as I get older in this work that I do, creative people are everywhere and we try to support them wherever we can. We had this conversation about the art on my wall. You can't really see it because it's just a very small section of my office, but I realized the other day, just like very unintentionally, a lot of my art belongs to Asian or Asian American artists, and they're primarily female. Some I think are non-binary or men, but I think primarily Asian American females. I didn't realize it was a trend until I don't know. I just looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, because there's a story behind every piece. I guess I collect things intentionally. I hope most people do. I guess sometimes I collect things unintentionally, but I guess with the art that I buy, because it's, expensive or just, it's really, when you decide to purchase someone's art or support someone, like that's a very deliberate choice. And I guess just somewhere along the way, my brain was just like, I really like the art that this person does, and I gravitate towards it. And that was just a really cool discovery that I made.
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely have the experience like folks that buy from me want to support my practice. It's not like I have a connection with them in some way, rather than just random strangers. Unless it's stickers, that's different. But um, yeah.
Rio Girl says, always love the stories between art creation and choices. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Also, I guess maybe this is like betraying like how much time I spend on Instagram. A lot of the art I buy are from artists that I follow on Instagram, because
Mhm.
I love what they do. And then they tend to be, small, independent, creative people. So I would rather support their work
Mhm.
than buy something that's maybe a little bit more mass marketed. I like knowing that I'm buying directly from someone and we have that connection.
Yeah. I also want to add my first solo exhibition. The gallery owner just looked at my Instagram. They never went on my website or like saw my CV. So there's definitely something to be said, like Instagram or a form of social media. It's I don't know, the market's changing. The way people consume art is changing too.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, Sapir, is there anything else you would like to share with people before we say goodbye?
Yes, I
Okay.
have
Okay.
two things. Our fellowships are going to open late May for literary artists and performing artists, so musicians, dancers, choreographers, theater director, theater direction, actors. So those are all like within the performing arts discipline, and any creative nonfiction, poetry, writers, prose, like that. That will be for you when you are ready to apply. Please do. I'm hoping that we will beat our last year number of submission for our last submission round, which was like, I think 40 people have applied for the fellowship for both of those category combined. And I know there are more than 40 people in our state that are doing this work.
Yeah.
So please apply. We want to review your work and we want to support your work. So that is opening May 29th. And then we just closed our project grant for artists. That's an individual grant for us to support your projects, your artistic endeavors, and that opened up to almost all creative fields. So please consider applying even if you don't fall into those categories. And the next cycle will be opening in October. I know it's a little bit far from now, but please keep that on your radar. Please follow us on social media and sign up for our email list because we want to support your art. And I say this when I meet artists out in the world, like we have money, we want to give you money. Please let us give you money. So please apply.
Thank you for sharing too that for the category, sometimes people think art and I think immediately like visual art, but I love that there's also literary arts for, poets, authors, playwrights. There's performative like, theater and music. So it's really just all the arts. Yes. Burned out lawyer, please do take their money.
Yes,
We want to
please take our money.
I think there's a good Futurama framing, so it's take my money instead of take your money. But I see that happening here. Um, Sapira, thank you again so much for appearing on our stream today. It was a lot of fun playing a short hike. I really want to play it on my own now and like just take my time wandering the island, and maybe I'll finally take Avery up on their offer to be like a parkour champion. I would like to chat with all the little inhabitants for sure. Um, so for everyone here in chat, thanks again so much for joining us this afternoon. We will have no stream this Thursday, so we're going to take a little break this Thursday, but we will be back next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. So instead of noon, we're going to stream at 12:30, and this is because we're going to have a special guest. We're going to be streaming with bioarchaeologist and social scientist Stacey Hackner, who's at University College London. So she is living in the future right now, and because of her schedule, because she teaches in the evening, and she's about like 7 or 8 hours ahead. This is why we're bumping our stream up to 12:30, so she has time to get home after a long day of teaching, take a little break, and then join us on Stream for Humanities at Play. But Stacy and I are going to be playing part of the game Unpacking, which some of you I know in chat are familiar with, but for those of you who are not, it is a very really nice casual game, literally all about unpacking and learning more about this person's life while you go through their belongings. So yes, Unpacking is a great game, and we're going to be chatting about Stacy's work with creative health, which is a relatively new field that examines the arts and humanities and well-being and where the social sciences play into that. So definitely tune in next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific if you can, because we were so on top of chatting about creative health, Stacey does really cool research. So if you're curious about archaeology, about bones, about anything, Stacey can Stacey has it all. So please join us for that stream. Finally, don't forget you can learn more about our programs on our website, nevadahumanities.org. Just stay in touch with us there, and we'll have some very fun streams for you in the near future. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Burned Out Lawyer, Angry Ostrich, everyone who came to chat. We really appreciate you. Sapira, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Thank you again for streaming with me. Yeah, have a wonderful time, everyone. We're gonna say goodbye to you now, but hope to catch you later.
Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.